a central part of Auburn academics.
Had a very honest conversation with an academic advisor in there about my future. So, this is one of those things that we love to do when things are starting to slow down. There's not as many big newsworthy things discussed, but it's fun, evergreen type of content. Most of you know that we've been doing a series of Auburn Mount Rushmore, and we said we're going to run the gamut. Whenever we want to just drop one of these in, anything Auburn, that's what this show is about, the Auburn experience. So for today's edition of the Mount Rushmore Auburn series, we're going to do something a little bit unique, but I hope you guys will enjoy it. We're going to do what Auburn academic / university buildings, it has to be used in an educational format, should be on the Mount Rushmore of this list. You can have your reasonings for that, meaning it's beautiful, functional, important to the success, whatever your decision process is. But what is your 4? Because that's Mount Rushmore. I had to explain that to some people. Mount Rushmore is 4. You can't, when you're picking these folks, you can't say, hey, I'm good. My last one, I'm going to have 2 on that. No, 4.
No,
that's it.
Yeah,
that's all you get.
No,
4.
oh my goodness, I can't believe you actually had to explain that.
People get excited about it, and I'm glad that they did. But 4, that's all you get. You got to get it done. So we want to hear from you guys. Here's our thoughts initially. This isn't necessarily our final. We're talking through it. That's all we're doing right now. So
how are we doing this? Are we doing 1 1 1 1 1 1, or are we doing?
I think first of all, let's agree that we're talking about university and academic buildings, meaning it has to be used in a university capacity for education. It doesn't necessarily have to be on what you think of as campus.
Right.
And I say that not necessarily trying to sway people a certain way, but there are some things that you could make a case for and include in that. And if it's important to you, if you think it's important to the university, if it's just beautiful, whatever. Can we just go ahead? We did this with Mount Rushmore of Auburn University quarterbacks. Go check that one out. We got the easy one out of the way. Can we just, how about this? Let's see if we can do it together on 3. 1, 2, 3. Sanford
Parker Hall. Oh, yeah.
Oh, you no. Sanford Hall.
Sanford Hall. It's our logo.
It is our logo. It's every bit of part of the Auburn experience. Is there any disagreement that on the Mount Rushmore of Auburn academic buildings that Sanford Hall should not be on there?
No, absolutely not. We discussed this pre-show just to make sure we're on the same page that it's a university academic administrative building. It is the Auburn campus sign that you need. It is the first thing you think of when you think of Auburn University. It is the #1 picture spot in this town. It's perfect. It was the greatest logo we had too for the Auburn University. Did you like that logo?
I did. I
loved it.
I'm not like on some bandwagon to like pitchforks bring it back, but like
I understand it's good.
I valued it.
Yes.
A
I
lot.
thought it was great. It's another thing Stephen Leith messed up here. We'll save that for another day. Yes, Sanford Hall.
Rushmore of people that mess things up for Auburn. Aiden Holloway. I'm sorry. I'm kidding.
Wow, we could have a good one with that. It would
get
negative fast, but we could do it.
It'd be Aiden Holloway, Sonny Galloway, and Stephen Leith. Anyway, go ahead.
And Brian Harson.
And that y'all brought that on yourself. Anyway, that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. It didn't have to be that way. I've got a second one that I think we're going to agree on. Let's do this for real this time. On 3.
Wait, oh no, I don't feel confident enough in this.
Really?
Well, I'm just still kind of going through one. I think I know what you're going to say, but you go ahead and say it.
No, I'm gonna let you. I directed the first one. #2's for you. You just throw out what you want to throw out.
Okay, we're talking. I mean, we're like we said, this is just the Mount Rushmore. It's not the prettiest things. It's not the
whatever it means to whatever you think Auburn University academic.
I know a lot of people don't like it. I know a lot of people think it's ugly. Okay, it's the Haley Center. The Haley Center, has to be on there on your Mount Rushmore. I know I'm not disagreeing. It's a little bit of an eyesore these days, but it is uniquely Auburn. It has been around forever. There are stories upon stories upon stories everyone has of going to Haley Center. It must be on the Mount Rushmore.
It is 100% on there. And,
Okay. That's the one you were thinking.
That's it. That we
Okay,
could have
good,
done.
good.
I felt I had faith. I had faith that we
Okay,
could pull this off.
I'm glad.
Sanford Hall and Haley Center, at least for us. Now, you viewing this either live or on the replay or listening to this, you can have your own opinions, and we'll take those in consideration when we make the official one.
We'll probably differ from here because of
Yeah.
different experiences, though, right?
But the fact that there are still students to this day lost in Haley Center has to get it on there alone. I mean,
God
it's like a
rest their
vortex.
souls.
It is forget the MCU. The first multiverse was Sanford. Wow, I can't even remember its name. It's my mind's lost in there.
You can still hear their screams.
You can still hear the screams of Haley Center. So that has got to be on it. Here's where I think we'll have differentiation. So let me give you the floor again. I don't want to sway you one way or the other, unless you don't have something.
Well, no, I mean, I think my next one would be because I spent this is where I spent most of my time because of my study and my major and all the things. I'm gonna say Louder because I was a marketing business major, and so I was there. I mean, from end of sophomore to senior year, that's where I hung out. I'm not saying now, not because I don't think it should be on there. I think you can make a case to be on there. The new one, it was not there when I was there. But I think that it is an incredible building and has, just as much views of all the things you could want of campus. But I want to make clear, I'm just saying Louder building. I think it's one of the bigger buildings on campus. It's the business school. It's relatively new. And, I think for me, it's on there because it's the one I'm most familiar with more than anything, to be honest.
On that vein, I'm going to throw in this wouldn't fall on a list for me, but just in terms of discussion here, the engineering complex, because of its importance to Auburn. It's one of the things that Auburn's known for, but it's so large. Like, which building are you talking about? And it's all kind of, been redone. They've got like courtyards and waterfalls now, apparently, which is, I know that's not that new anymore, but it blew my mind the first time. I was like, wow, if this doesn't speak for what the lifeblood of this university is, they've got a waterfall. So that one is hard to put in there for me because I don't know that a ton of people will say that, but I just wanted to throw it out there since you were talking about Louder, important like academic buildings. I could go my route and say the ones that are important to me, Rouse, and then Funchess Hall, because
I thought so. You're not putting Funchess on yours?
I would on mine. I would.
Okay.
And so if you're asking only me, I'm going to put Funchess Hall in there because I spent so much time there.
Okay.
And yes, the bottom floor smells like there's fungus down there, which is where we got the name. But I have so many fond memories in that old building. I'm going to be so sad when they get rid of it. And I think it's on the docket, unfortunately. I'm going to go off the wall here. And we set a strict rule, non-athletic, but Beard Eves Memorial Coliseum, because it houses the kinesiology.
I knew you were going to do that.
The kinesiology department. No.
I mean, it's a dadgum gym.
It houses the kinesiology, if I'm saying that correctly, department.
Kinesiology. It also houses the geology department.
Oh, there. So,
but it's a gymnasium. That's cheating. That is cheating.
Come on.
I am not happy about this.
All right, you do another one here. Let's maybe do a couple more between us for opinion, and then maybe we offer it for each other.
There's a few that are run through my head. The student center is obviously something that is everybody's been in. It's central.
Yeah. And we're talking about Melton, not Foy, right?
Yes, but Foy is another one that I have on there that is been around for so long. That is, named after an Auburn great. Dean Foy, does not have the Foy desk anymore, but it's Foy Hall. It's the old student union. So I think that has to be under consideration. I'm blanking on my last one.
Was it the library?
Yes, it was the library.
Is it Drana? Is that how you say it? Drana Library?
It's RBD. That's all I know.
RBD.
I don't know anything other than RBD.
RBD Library. No kidding, Austin. On my campus tour, I got lost in there. I'm not kidding to you.
What?
I went
Your
back
tour
there.
group or just you?
Just me, because I was walking around campus with my free time, and I went in there just to explore a little bit more, see how big it was, because they give you all these stats on the how big it is, how it compares to like even I remember like there was some comparison to Princeton's library or something like that.
Yeah, it was like the biggest for a while.
For a while it was, and then now they've extended all of it on. It looks even beautiful on the front.
Yes,
on the certain if you view that as the front. Yeah, I got lost in there, and legitimately it took me about 10 minutes to find my way back to the door.
That's really funny.
It was kind of sad actually, and I realized, wow, I need to get out more. That's in there. I think you could throw things like the vet school that's off campus
definitely
in there. There's a fisheries department that's pretty important out going towards 280. If that's important to you as well. You brought up the student unions. Of course, there's every academic facility and the meat lab, all of that stuff. But if I had to press you right now, this is technically your final one, but we're just trying to wrap this up. Would you like me to go first?
Yes, please.
Okay, so Sanford Hall is going to be on there.
Yeah,
and then we're going to have. Did we forget one?
Yeah, but go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna do, because you're gonna steal it for yourself now.
That's right.
This is my personal one as I'm standing right now. Sanford Hall, Haley Center, Funchess Hall, just because of my nostalgia, and I'm gonna be cheesy here. One that we haven't talked about. Maybe I'm stealing it from you.
You are.
Langdon Hall.
Oh, no, you're not.
Oh, okay.
That's a good one, though. Mine's on the same vein.
Because of what it means in the history of Auburn, one of the first buildings. The seal is in front of it. They used to do classes in it. I've been in it like twice, but I walk past it and that's a good one. I feel Auburn there every time. So those are my four, because it's Mount Rushmore.
So since those are your four, and I think I'm going to give my four and then what I think the four, which is only one change, but we have Sanford, we have Haley, and then we have mine. I said Louder because that's where I went.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to say we did not mention Catherine Cooper Cater Hall.
Oh, we did mention Cater Hall.
Huge one in the middle of the quad.
Oh, no.
An old buildings where they do call outs.
I'm changing.
That has to be a big one. And so I think if we're going, like, if we could project what the Auburn family could collectively put together, which will never happen because we all can't agree on four things. I think you have to probably roughly say it's going to be Sanford, Haley, Cater, and then Langdon. I think those four right there really encapsulate Auburn University of academic buildings.
I change. I'm sorry, Langdon Hall. Cater Hall's got to be it.
I mean, it's beautiful, and it has the honors department, a central part of Auburn academics.
Had a very honest conversation with an academic advisor in there about my future. I'm so glad you brought that up there. So
what's the one up there? And then I think Foy is right off on the side. I think they could be considered. What's the one up there on it? It's the financials building, basically. It's where you go pay everything.
Yeah. Mary Martin Hall. Mary Martin.
I think that one would probably get a lot of people too. Not as much since you pay so much online now, but
not as much money as I've spent there. It's not in my bank. Anyway, so we'd love to hear from you all as you're watching this currently, in the future, as you find this content. We want to know on your Mount Rushmore of Auburn academic / university functional buildings, what is your favorite, for whatever your reason is to put them out? Nostalgia, beauty, importance, history, all of those things are factors. Tell us your Mount Rushmore of Auburn University academic buildings. You've heard our discussions. Now let's hear from you.